We don't have enough time to go into all the details.
当然，因为时间有限的关系，我的细节没有办法叙述。
But I would like to address what I think are some of the things that most people do not know.
但是我想要提一些大部分人也许都还不知道的一些议题。
One actually is good news. About 3 or 4 weeks ago, Al Gore went vegan.
有一个很好的消息是，前副总统高尔他在3-4周之前，他成为一个纯素主义者。也太迟了，不过不错。
I'd like to talk a little bit about the cruelty involved in dairy products also.
还有呢，我想要提一下肉农业它背后的非常残酷的一些事实。
Because myself, actually, when I was a young person eating the usual meals with lots of meat, dairy products, and eggs.
特别是我自己，在我小时候，其实我也是跟一般人一样，吃很多的肉啊、奶啊、蛋的。
And in the United States, we eat a lot of that.
在美国，特别是我们吃很多这样的一个饮食。
And I went away to a summer camp in New England, in Vermont, that was very beautiful, very small little farm with chickens and some lambs and pigs and a few cows.
那我有一个机缘呢，在小时候参加一个夏令营，在新英格兰，那个是一个很小的农场，有一些很漂亮的地啊，然后有牛啊、羊啊、鸡啊等等。
But I remember being shown how to, as Mr. Lin said, catch a chicken and hold a chicken and have an axe and cut off her head.
那我也记得我被带到一个场地，像林先生提的一样，他叫我要砍鸡，把鸡抓好，然后怎么样把它头砍断。
And when I did that, I was only 13 years old, but I didn't feel bad about it because I had been told every day of my life that this is the right thing to do.
那时候我是觉得怪怪，但是说实在，我也没有觉得很糟。那时候我大概13岁，因为我从小的教养好像也觉得这是一个应该可以做的事情。
Chickens don't have a soul. They taste good. God put them here for us to eat. And if you don't eat them, you will die within 24 hours of a protein deficiency.
鸡啊又很好吃，又没有灵魂，而且是上帝呢把它摆在我面前的。如果你24小时都不吃它的话，你可能会死于蛋白质不足。
And then later, we gathered around a dairy cow who wasn't giving enough milk anymore, and we shot her with a gun in the head.
后来我们又被带到一个现场，那个乳牛呢，它已经没有办法再提供任何的牛奶。所以呢，我们呢简直是拿了一个枪就把他打死了。
And it was shocking for me to see an animal being killed.
当然对我来讲，这是很震惊的画面，看到一个牛这样子被枪杀了。
But everyone in my life, my parents, my teachers, my religious ministers, the government, the media, all said this is the right thing to do.
但是在我那时周遭的每一个人，包括我的父亲、我的老师、国会议员等等政府呢，都好像说这个是一个对的事情呢。
And so I knew it must be the right thing to do.
所以我就认为，这应该是对的吧。
And even this large cow, as soon as she was shot, she fell to the floor of the barn with feces and urine everywhere.
那这只牛呢，就这样被枪打下来，倒在这个谷仓之后呢，它简直是躺在它自己的排泄物跟它的尿里面。
And the dairy operator, the dairyman, jumped on her with a long knife, cutting here, and the blood went very, very high in the air.
那这个肉农场的主人呢，工人就拿了一个很长的刀，把它砍一砍，把肉就砍掉。然后那时候的血液呢，像血珠一样的往天很高的喷出去。
Because her heart was pumping.
她的心脏还在动。
And he wiped his brow, and he said very matter-of-factly.
他有一个很震惊的口气，就说了
that you have to do that. You have to cut the arteries right away. Otherwise, the meat will be soggy. It'll be soaked with blood, and it'll be disgusting, and no one will ever want to eat it.
他在这个时候趁机教育我们说，你要趁这个时候就砍断它的动脉，因为这样它的肉吃起来才不会不好吃，咸咸的。
So I saw right then, at 13 years old, the tremendous suffering that all animals go through to be reduced to meat.
所以那时候我才会体会到这些动物在这个时候要成为肉之前的所有的这个痛苦的过程。
All the animals that we see in the flesh we see in the store that's all wrapped in cellophane or in a restaurant that we order go through this.
所有的在超市或者餐厅看起来包得漂漂亮亮，或是摊子上的这些肉，都是这样的过程来的。
They're all cows, pigs, chickens, turkeys, ducks, geese, all are hanging upside down by one leg or two, and they die by having their throats cut.
很多的家禽、家畜，其他的动物可能都是这样一只腿或两只腿的方式被倒吊起来，然后用它们的喉咙的方式做刺杀。
So they die by bleeding to death, very slow and very painful death.
很慢的方式，慢慢的放血，让它自己死掉。
And this is what we're feeding to our children and eating ourselves. How can we create a world of sensitivity, of love and joy when we're doing this to millions of animals every day?
我们每天的几千万的生命因为我们这样而死，而我们拿来为我们自己的小孩，跟为我们自己，我们如何可以创造一个快乐、健康而和平的世界呢？
We have to harden our hearts and become very shallow and disconnect from our natural compassion and from the beauty of nature and the beauty of animals and the beauty of mothers and the beauty of children and babies.
我们这样做的唯有呢，跟自己的心产生疏离，然后忘记自己原来的同理心，跟所有的社会的美丽的自然、人民的美丽产生疏离，才有办法这样子做。
And then I went back to this camp the following summer, and the same thing happened. We killed another cow.
隔年呢，我又来到了这个夏令营，又杀了一头牛。
But this time, the dairyman did not want to do it in the barn because it made such a mess on the floor of the barn.
这次呢，工人就说，这次我不要在谷仓弄，因为等一下会把地上弄得脏脏的。
So we thought we'd take the cow to a little grassy field, a little away from the barn.
于是呢，我们就把这个牛带到草原上，但离谷仓还有一段距离。
And we tried to pull the cow with a rope.
就用一个粗粗的绳子就拉那个牛。
We had 30 kids. We're not as strong as the cow.
我们有30个小孩一起拉哦，只是没有办法拉太动。
The cow wanted to live.
这只牛试着想要生存。
So then we just put a chain on her neck,
我们只好在它的脖子放一个
attached
链子，
to a truck.
然后把它绑在一个车子上，那个卡车，
We just pulled her.
用这样子再继续拉。
And she was getting pulled like this
它这样子被拉的，
and resisting very strongly.
它非常奋力的抵抗。
And I was riding in the back of the truck.
我大概是在这个卡车的后面。
And I was watching as we went up. And we got almost there, and suddenly she broke the chain.
我们就快要到达我们这个草地的时候，突然它把这个链子就用掉了。
And the truck lurched forward, and all the kids fell down.
那这个卡车呢，因为经历地道的关系就往前，那所有的小孩子就跌出来。
And I got up and I saw the cow looking at us with a chain hanging off her neck.
那我就这样子跟这个牛有一个链子在它的脖子上，这个牛对看了一眼。
And she wasn't saying anything,
她当然什么都没有说，
but she was speaking very loudly.
她内心有一个很大很巨大的声音，
And she was saying, "Please, I don't want to be killed."
她内心说：“请你不要杀了我。”
But I knew she had to be killed.
但是我知道这个过程一定会结束，她一定会被杀。
We do dairy for money.
因为酪农的业呢，是为了要做钱的，要赚钱用的。